Here's a classic question that comes up often in Python, data science, or machine learning interviews. How does Python handle namespaces? And what exactly is the LEGB rule? Now, this question isn't about memorizing what the letters stand for. It's about showing that you understand how Python knows which variable you meant. That understanding becomes critical when debugging, working with closures, or writing modular ML code. Here's the intuition. Every time Python sees a variable name, it looks for it step by step, in a specific order. That order is called LEGB, which stands for local, meaning variables inside the current function. Enclosing, meaning variables from an outer or nested function. Global, which are variables defined at the module or file level. And built-in, which refers to Python's predefined names, like len, print, or range. Think of it like a search ladder. Python starts from the narrowest box, your local function, then moves outward through enclosing and global, and finally looks into the built-in scope if it still hasn't found what it's looking for. The moment it finds the name, it stops searching. And that's the key idea behind Python's scope resolution, the LEGB rule. Now, let's bring this to life with a simple example. Imagine you define a variable at the top of your file. That's global. Inside a function, you define another variable with the same name. That's local. And inside a nested function, you define it again. That's enclosing. When Python needs that variable, it starts by checking the local function first. If it doesn't find it there, it moves to the enclosing function, then to the global scope, and finally to the built-in names like len or print. That's Python's LEG search process in action, step by step, from the smallest scope to the largest, and the moment it finds the variable, it stops searching right there. Now, here's why this matters in real-world data or ML projects. If you're building a model training pipeline, you might define metrics like accuracy or loss at a global level, then try to update them inside a local training function. If you forget to declare them as global, Python treats them as new local variables, and suddenly your metrics stop updating, or you get an unbound local error. Here's how you could turn that situation into a strong interview answer. While debugging a metrics aggregator in one of my ETL jobs, I realized my counter variable wasn't updating. It turned out I was modifying it inside a function, and Python was treating it as a new local variable instead of the global one. Once I understood the LEGB rule, I fixed it using the global keyword and later used enclosing scopes to design closure-based configurations for data transformation functions. That approach helped each function maintain its own state without interfering with others. That's the kind of answer that interviewers love, because it shows you understand how Python works under the hood and how that knowledge makes your data pipelines and ML workflows cleaner, safer, and more modular. So the next time something weird happens with your variables, remember this. Python always looks in this order: local, and then enclosing and global, and last built-in, and it stops as soon as it finds a match.